Sam Burlum, the man who sold us the gas-saving device and installed it in our car, said it would now get almost 100 miles to the gallon. Problem is, according to the government-approved lab, it wasn't true.
We got no significant difference in anything.
So we went back to Sam to give him the bad news. I didn't tell him who I was at first, but soon I identified myself.
That car that we brought in, that Honda,
Okay.
that you installed the hydrogen assist fuel cell on,
Okay.
we had it tested independently.
Okay. Well, what did you do the same exact test we did?
Well, let me
Under
tell you. Let me
same
just tell you.
conditions.
Let me
that
tell
we
you.
did.
Yes, we did it under professional conditions at an
Okay.
EPA-sanctioned facility. It got 34 miles per gallon before you put it on, and it got 34 miles per gallon
The
afterwards.
system needs to be retuned.
The system needs to be retuned.
So, obviously, then the system needs to be retuned.
He insisted that once it was retuned, his so-called scientific road test would prove the device worked. And he insisted the EPA-sanctioned test had to be wrong.
It seems like what you guys are selling is a product that doesn't work to people who are in very difficult economic times, who want to believe that they can double or triple their mileage.
We're not in business to scam people. That's not what we do.
Remember, Sam was just the installer. The person we really wanted to talk to was the inventor himself, Dennis Lee. He lived nearby, so we knocked on the door and were greeted by his wife.
Hi, how are you? Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC. Ma'am? We'd like to talk to Dennis Lee if we could.
Just as we were leaving, Mr. Lee appeared, and it turns out he had a lot to say. For instance, when we told him his invention didn't work in our car, he said he never promised anyone it would always work.
Do you know what we tell everybody?
Go ahead.
No, what do you think we tell everybody? We tell everybody it always works?
Well, you're selling like it always works.
Is that what you think we tell everybody?
That's what you say.
See, you should actually check it out.
But Dennis, here's what happens. You guarantee that the mileage will
Maybe
double.
not, but listen to Lee himself on his promotional video.
It is guaranteed to increase your fuel economy by 50% or more.
And we reminded him that Sam, the man who installed the device, also told us it would increase our mileage by 50%.
We have your mechanic on camera.
Who's my mechanic?
Sam.
What mechanic is that? That's a mechanic that was trained?
Yes.
Okay, then some
what are you
mechanic
saying?
gets trained. That's not my mechanic. He doesn't work for me.
Maybe not, but some who bought the device told us their dealers had steered them to Sam.
Now, you're trying to be antagonistic and find something wrong because that's what you do.
I know, but I'm
because you're a lackey for oil companies and other people, and that's what you do.
Why, how could you say that? That's outrageous, Dennis.
Because it's
I'm
what
a lackey
you do.
for oil companies?
Well, right now you've
Based on
tried to tell me that you did something
Let me
that
tell
shows
you.
that something doesn't work.
Yes, and it doesn't work.
No.
No. Sam
Listen to
installed
what he
it.
just said. Now, you guys will be cutting this all out anyway, but listen to what he just said. See, it didn't work.
Lee is suggesting our experience is not typical and implied he doesn't want to rip anyone off. He told us his dealers are supposed to give the money back if a specific device doesn't work.
You should take it back.
And get our money
wherever
back.
you bought it, only if you did what they agreed and you agreed you should do.
We did
And
it
if
all.
you did- well, then I guess you need to go to
paid
them.
the money.
And you need to talk to them.
They installed it.
Because I will guarantee you some of these will not work. And we have never said they always work, ever, to anybody, anywhere.
So does the thing
I don't
work
know
or
of
does it?
anybody who says that, who doesn't give you back your money if a thing doesn't work. I don't know of anybody like that. I haven't heard of anybody like that. And if I did, they would have a problem with me.
See, this is the same kind of double talk that you always use when you're back
Double
in the corner.
talk. Double talk.
That's
Thank
exactly
you.
what it
Have
is.
a nice day.
I'm happy to talk
In
to you.
other words, you're not happy to talk to me.
Give me
you're
one
happy
example.
to try to take everything I say and twist it. That's what you're happy to do. You're not happy to talk to me. You're happy to twist what I say.
What about the perpetual
Because you
motion
have an
which-
agenda. You lucked out. No one else will. No comment to make because you could care less about the truth.
The truth, Lee says, can be found in a recent court decision. The Federal Trade Commission recently charged Lee with false advertising and attempted to get an injunction to keep him from marketing his device. But a judge said not so fast. Lee furnished the court with what he claims is scientific evidence that the device worked. He also submitted the names of 26 people who he said were happy with the device. Even though the court was skeptical of Lee's mileage claims, it decided not to grant the injunction at this time. The FTC is still pursuing the case. But what about those 26 people Dennis Lee cited in court documents as satisfied customers?
I spent $1,000 for the kit itself, $2,000 for my mechanic to put it in.
Dr. Michelle Hemingway is one of them. She said she's been back to have Sam retune her car 3 times so far.
And even though I've done all of that, I still haven't had any improvement.
Near Cronenberg's name was also supplied to the FTC by Dennis Lee as someone who's had success with the device.
It doesn't work and we don't get our money back, so it's a ripoff, basically.
All told, we were able to talk to 19 people on his list. 15 people told us the devices didn't work as advertised. Some were heading back to Sam for more retuning. Others were asking for their money back. 2 people actually said the device worked, but they also told us their cars weren't in working condition. Another person who told us the device was working in his car declined our offer to have his car tested. The list of satisfied customers named in the court documents included one other person we wanted to talk to, but we couldn't reach her. It turns out she lives with Sam Burlum, the mechanic. Electrical engineer Eric Krieg is a longtime critic of Dennis Lee.
He's very good at controlling people. He constantly recycles new people.
Lee sued him for, among other things, defamation, but the suit was recently dismissed with prejudice. Krieg has posted a website offering anyone a reward if they can prove Lee's inventions actually work.
The urban legends about the person getting 100 miles a gallon are the ones that end up getting repeated. They're kind of friend of a friend stories. People like you are just supposed to go away and, oh, it didn't work. You're just supposed to shut up about that.
Dennis Lee is still doing battle with the FTC and continues to maintain he makes no promises his gas-saving device will always work. For his part, he's a crusader fighting for the little man.
You need to do something yourself rather than waiting for the car manufacturers and the government to do it for you.
But to others, he's no crusader at all. What do you suppose will end up happening to Dennis Lee?
I've been wrong to predict his downfall in the past. He'll probably weasel out of this and have some wonderful new promise.
And sure enough, on his website, Lee is already promoting a new catalytic converter for your car.
We got about 180 miles per gallon under laboratory conditions. We were all shocked.